Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a long time since I did a video on mental health. I'm sorry, I've been traveling. There's a lot of drama. There's a lot of things going on in my life right now. I'm gonna graduate soon, so I'm sorry, but I'm back. So today we're gonna be reacting to Do All People with Mental Illnesses Think the Same by Jubilee. So a disclaimer before starting this video: I'm someone that has been diagnosed with more than one mental illness. Being bipolar is the main one I talk about on my channel as of now. So I've been diagnosed with bipolar type 2 for almost a year now. It's almost a year now. So I've been diagnosed with that, and other than that, I do suffer from PTSD, from being abused in the past as well. Also, I did suffer from bulimia throughout most of my teenagehood, I would say. So that's just giving a background on like what I am. So it's gonna be very interesting for me to react this. I actually was dying to watch this video, but I want to react to it firsthand with you guys, to me, so you guys will get my raw opinions. What do I think? And let's keep it real. Do all think with mental illnesses think the same? No. But I want to see if I agree or disagree, or what I'm going to think about these topics, okay? So without further ado, let's get into this video. Okay, first they say, content warning. The following episode contains discussion of sensitive subject matter such as sexual abuse and self-harm. Okay.
A lot of my anxiety symptoms are really hard to hide sometimes. I will shake someone's hand and be like, yeah, I have OCD.
Invite 6 people. Okay. I disagree. I don't think that in my house growing up, mental health was not discussed at all. At all, you guys, like at all. I mean, I knew with some things about it, especially when my grandma, before she passed away, she was suffering from, she was becoming senile, and she was, getting schizophrenia. But this is the only things that we will talk about, like Parkinson's, the things that people get when they get older. But like regular mental illnesses, I don't want to say the regular, but people that normal, regular, everyday people can get them. No, depression, I didn't know that was like a thing. I thought it was like, oh, I'm sad, I thought that was depression. Let's see. Oh wow, okay.
Mental illness was discussed in my home growing up, but it wasn't discussed in like a positive light. It wasn't really something that I was encouraged to seek out. I was more so encouraged to lean on faith.
I kind of feel like I was like the prototype in my family, because after I was diagnosed with my mental illness, a few years later, my uncle got diagnosed, and then 2 of my cousins did. And when I first was experiencing the symptoms, everyone thought that I was just being a rebellious teenager. The consideration that I might be going through something deeper than that was never even considered.
I think that's true. I actually went through almost the same thing when I felt like I had bipolar, and before I got diagnosed, it was like you're being rebellious, it's normal. Like, most people don't know what people with mental illnesses go through inside their brain, because you're not with them 24 hours. The depression, staying home 24/7, anxiety, most people do not see that. So when you tell them you have this, especially your family, they might be like, what? Especially when I don't live with my family anymore. So it's like, it was very disheartening, but now it's okay, thank God.
Being a first-generation Mexican American, my parents thought that my symptoms or my expression was a choice. And a lot of times it was very like, you gotta stop talking in school, you have anger problems, so it was not necessarily seen as something that I can work towards, but it was seen as a defective trait.
Yeah, for me, it wasn't until I was, until last year when I was first hospitalized, that the conversation of mental health was brought up in my family. And I don't think it was done on purpose. I think it was just never had a space to do it, and we weren't really like accustomed to it.
And that's true. And many people that do suffer from mental illnesses, the family don't realize how important it is until it's a life of their situation. And it shouldn't be like that. That should be the things that everybody should avoid. Like families wake up and don't start thinking about mental health when your son or daughter almost died. Like, come on.
For that, it just never really came up.
Right.
Yeah. I have a memory of my sister saying, like, I think that Sparkle has OCD from a really young age. It wasn't really discussed outside of that, and I never really got help until it got so bad that I would have died if I didn't.
People are surprised to find out I have my mental illness. 3, 2, 1.
I will have to think about this one. Because the first people that I come out with my mental illness was on YouTube, and some of them got shocked because I would say because they see me all this happy, outgoing person, and a lot of people would not imagine me depressed or almost wanted to die. So I will totally agree with this. People get surprised when I tell them that I do suffer from this, and I will totally agree with this.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably not.
Oh, and by the way, generally when I tell people mental illnesses, I tell them about bipolar. I don't talk to them about most likely I had bulimia or I have PTSD. So I don't know how they would react to that. When it comes to bipolar, they're like, oh,
Like in high school and stuff, like I was always like the this cool dude, like everybody, it seemed like I had together really. So I think it would probably surprise some people that I'm dealing with bipolar disorder because it just seemed like everything was so in order, everything was looking how it was supposed to look. So I guess for some people it would be like a surprise for me.
I'm surprised.
I think I just try to carry myself the exact opposite of what people would think, just so I can make an effort to hide it a lot better. You think of depression and you think of just some gloomy person in the corner, and I tried my best not to be that person, to not let anybody know, because I was extremely insecure about it. I didn't want anybody to know that I was struggling with something that I couldn't really put into words.
I'm so open about it that, like, any stranger on the street, like, if it should happen to come up, I will shake someone's hand and be like, yeah, I have OCD. Like,
You know what I was about to say? I'm going to move to the strongly disagree because I actually tell everybody.
Okay.
Because there's nothing to hide. Like,
You're
I don't
right.
feel like hiding it. Like, I'd rather tell somebody, oh yeah, by the way, I'm bipolar, so if I ever like start acting a little bit different, like that might be why.
I generally don't talk about being bipolar to like stranger people other than YouTube, of course. I don't know why. I don't think it's like something important unless they're very close to you or I don't think it's important to say. So I wouldn't talk about it. And bipolar is not the only mental illness I do suffer from. I might not be able to tell people I was bulimic or I had PTSD because that's very personal. So I would say they totally agree with this.
I trust medical professionals. 3, 2, 1.
I don't know where to stand on this. I have no idea. I think I'll be staying in the middle. I'll be like, do I? Not all, but when it comes to mental illnesses, it's not like most of them, you cannot just take a blood test and be like, hey, you got bipolar. No, it's not like that. It's like they gotta figure it out based on what you tell them, and you might not tell them the whole story. So, I don't know, and I've been reading a lot that a lot of people in the Western world, American, UK, they're being overdiagnosed with depression. I won't say overdiagnosed, but they give them a lot of pills, which I think it's not necessary at all. So I would stay in the middle. Like I wouldn't move. I honestly don't have an answer for this. I haven't seen many doctors. Okay, in total, when it comes to my mental illnesses, I saw like 5 doctors, which I think is not enough. So I don't know what I will say honestly. Most of them too, they were like, like, y'all know what I'm saying, we trust you, thank you, but I'm gonna give you a little side eye there, mister, you know? Yeah, I'll be like her, like.
I was first diagnosed with schizophrenia, and that was after seeing a psychiatrist for 5 minutes. She sat with me, looked at me, she's like, okay, you have schizophrenia, just because I told her I had hallucinations. But I was later diagnosed as bipolar 1. So I think it's really important that these medical professionals really take the time to listen to their patient and to figure out what's really going on, and not just, be so jaded by all their other past patients that they're not listening to the person, sitting right in front of them.
And that's true. Actually, I really like my first doctor. He didn't want to jump to conclusions yet. Like, he didn't want to diagnose me with bipolar on my first sitting. He was like talking about it. But yeah, then I meet some doctors. They're like, yeah, you're that. It's like, I don't like that, if you know what I'm saying.
I do trust medical professionals. Like, I believe for the most part that they're trying to do what's best for you, and we can't allow like mistakes or things that happen in every career, every field, discourage us or others from going and getting help from these people. But what if?
Yeah, but so many people get misdiagnosed, especially when it comes to mental illnesses. And I feel like we should be like, that can ruin someone's life. Taking drugs that you literally don't need, taking a treatment that is unnecessary. So yeah, it shouldn't be like we all should trust them, especially when it comes to mental illnesses. It's insane.
Person that had a more severe disability, like somebody who can't go a day, who if they drop the ball, that could land them in the hospital. I have seen some situations where there was a mix-up, and one person got someone else's medication. You can't take that back.
True.
Self-diagnosis is dangerous and invalid.
Yes. I wouldn't say it's invalid, because we live in a world. Okay, so there's not. Okay, honestly, I don't think there's like a yes or no answer to this type of statement. But before I was diagnosed with bipolar, I thought I did suffer from it, but I was not sure. But it really fit into what I was feeling, but also could be major depressive. So it was like, I didn't want to self-diagnose me, and I never told anybody I'm bipolar until I was fully diagnosed. And honestly, when I was diagnosed, it was just a weight lifted from my body, because I finally know what I have, and I finally know what to do in order to survive. And it's like, it shouldn't be valid trying to seek for mental health, but you shouldn't be going there and be like, I'm bipolar. Yeah, no, go online, watch videos about mental health. You might be suffering. You might want to, you know what I'm saying? You might want to do that. I feel that way too many times. Go online and find yourself. I know in some countries, in some areas, it's hard to find medical help, but it's necessary. So do not self-diagnose you. Do your research, as everybody do. I read so many things about my disorder, and I'm still learning every day. So just keep it up and don't self-diagnose you. It's dangerous. It's not, if you really don't feel comfortable with diagnosing with a doctor, try seeking another professional. That might not be your doctor, and it should be like that with everything. So yeah, I don't think it's invalid. Try to do your research, but being like, I have this, I have that, no, like that's dangerous. It's I would say dangerous in a way that you could harm yourself. You could take medicine or get it under the table cheaper, because I know many people that are like that. They do think they have mental illness, and they try to buy medicine, like, antidepressants online, on the black market, or in some place that isn't illegal to get it, like, without prescription, and that can ruin your life. So yeah, I would say it's dangerous. Invalid, not 100%, but it's definitely not acceptable and dangerous. Go see a doctor, please. Thank you.
3, 2, 1, go.
What? Okay, I'm kind of shocked. Like, I'm kind of shocked that most of them didn't agree with it. Like, I want to hear what they say. Oh, girl. Girl.
Before I was diagnosed with bipolar, I thought I was absolutely everything because I was bipolar and I'd be going through all these different manic episodes. And, you know,
True.
one week I'd be self-diagnosing myself as this and the next week I'm that. I see people struggle mostly with diagnosis acceptance. So I think self-diagnosis can really just turn into denial.
It's interesting, the first time that I went into a therapist and said, I think I have an eating disorder, I told her the amount of times a day that I was purging, and it was all day, every day, and she said, you're not thin enough. It's not a problem unless you get thinner and thinner. So it took me 2 more years to go and get help a second time.
Okay, I'm sorry, but that therapist, honey, and that's the issue. Many people go to on the field of therapy and psychiatry, not knowing that this can ruin their lives. I did suffer from an eating disorder, and I was never thin enough. Sometimes I was, but most of the time I wasn't. That is crazy. I'm so sorry, girl.
Did end up getting diagnosed later on with both bulimia and anorexia at different points in time, but I think it was good during those 2 years that I didn't have a diagnosis to still be able to talk to people, like to still be able to talk to my friends and say, like, I have an eating disorder. I'm not diagnosed, but I have an eating disorder.
Before I got diagnosed with bipolar disorder, I noticed that in my freshman year of college that I thought I was depressed. I remember reaching out and telling someone, with my girlfriend at the time, and she was like, no, you're not depressed. And so sometimes when you're like self-diagnosed, you kind of don't get treated the same as being diagnosed by a doctor. But I think people know themselves well, so I think it should be taken more seriously when people at least attempt that self-diagnosing themselves.
I'm not, as a bipolar person, I totally disagree with that. I really went through hell. If y'all check my channel, y'all can see the things that I've been through when it comes to bipolar disorder. I never thought I had it. I kind of knew I had it, but being like I'm bipolar without the diagnosis, without going through the right medication, without knowing what you're gonna do, I don't think it should be like that valid, honestly. I think that doing the step to going to the doctor is what should be valid. You know there's something wrong with you, you know you're depressed, go to the doctor, but don't be like, here, and I have this, I have that. It's not okay, because at the end you need medication, you need a treatment for this. Treatment for bipolar is not only medicine. You need to change your lifestyle. Your cholesterol can go extremely high, you can gain weight, you need to eat healthy, you need to exercise, you need to quit some type of foods, you need to almost quit drinking and any type of other drugs. So self-diagnosing is like you might not know what you're supposed to do. So that's just my opinion, though.
Therapy and medication works for me. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, I will say that I tried therapy. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I think YouTube is my therapy, and I know that's F to say you should go to a therapist, blah, 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 blah. It's not my thing. Maybe I didn't find the right therapist, but medication, I'm one of the lucky people that medication works for them. Because if y'all do not know, when it comes to mental disorders, medications works different for everybody. I'm one of the lucky people that medication actually works, and I'm thankful every single day. And it's not only medication and therapy, as I said before. When you're diagnosed, there's many things. You have a new life. You cannot go back to your old self. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with it, but I will not say totally agree with it, because this medicine didn't change my life. No, if I would have just taken the pill, I would have gained a lot of weight, which I did. I did gain a lot of weight. So it's not just the medication, it's me wanting to change my life, cutting toxic people. I don't care if you're a family member, I'm gonna cut you off my life. I'm gonna cut you off. I'm gonna start eating healthy, I'm gonna exercise, I'm gonna push myself to success. That's what changed my life. Medicine and therapy is a part of it, but it's not what is it. So I will somewhat agree. I will say that.
When I did feel at my lowest points, the combinations of therapy and medications definitely seemed to help, but it's been a couple years now since that, and even when I don't feel necessarily okay, or if I feel like I'm struggling, I don't feel the need to run to therapy or for medications at this point. I feel like I've grown and learned a lot from what I went through and learned my own coping mechanisms to say that I don't necessarily need to fall on that, so it's not something that as of now I can say that it works for me because I don't necessarily need it as of now.
I'm torn with the whole therapy thing, medication, I'm all for. I've been on medication since I was 16, and it's actually really helped me get through my different moods and keeping me stable. But as for therapy, sometimes I feel like when I go, I'm just like re-triggering, the trauma inside me, so I don't really like to talk about it. But I agree with you guys, it does work for a lot of people. Not so much for me, but I would recommend therapy, definitely.
Well,
I said that to many people that I know, medication doesn't work for them, and it's very, very sad. And mental illness is something you can cure. No, medication will not cure you. It will just control the symptoms. That's about it. So it's insane. It's very sad.
for me, going to therapy definitely saved my life. Getting a diagnosis gave me something tangible to hold on to when my whole world was slipping away from me and I had no idea what to do. As far as the conversation around medication goes, a lot of people don't realize that no matter what, medication is never a perfect answer. It's always only 40-50% effective. You still need peer support. You still need to accept what's going on and work on it on a personal level, no matter what.
Yeah, I think that for me, it's what allows me to do that work. In terms of anxiety medication, my anxiety medication lets me leave the house to go get therapy, and it slows my brain down enough that I'm able to think about it and then do the work. Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense.
I wish I didn't have my illness. 3, 2, 1.
I totally agree. I wish, if I could have a wish, I feel okay, so here's a tough fitness. My illnesses make me who I am, but I wish, I'm gonna be honest with you all, I would not wish having what I go through every day or every time I get anxiety because of my PTSD or all the things that I've been through as a teenager and as a minor. It's I will not wish that upon my worst enemy. I will not wish changing my life upon somebody I hate. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep it real. I wish I didn't have it. I wish there was a cure. And as of now, all I gotta do is come here on YouTube and talk about these issues. There are ways to live with this. I am still trying to figure it out. Every day you think about how you could end it. Every day you think about these things that I will not wish that upon my worst enemy. Now I'm trying to enjoy life, but honestly, I really wouldn't wish depression, anxiety, the traumas I've been through to anybody. So I will be a hypocrite saying that I wouldn't wish I had it, because I hate this. I hate it. It's keeping me from success, keeping me from being alive, and I chose to be alive. I'm not letting my illness control me anymore. So yeah, if I could rip it off my chest Bible, I would definitely do it. So I totally agree with this.
I would say that I would completely take back, go back in time and not go through the darker parts of my life. But it's helped me grow a lot as a person. I wouldn't change the person that I've become, how stronger I've been from it, how much more confidence I've had in myself. Had I not gone through that, I wouldn't take that back.
It truly is so hard, because in one way, like, it has made me who I am today. It has made me so much more empathetic. It literally, I'm a mental health writer, and it started my career. I wouldn't have the career that I have, I wouldn't have the connections that I have. But then thinking of how, like, I have osteoporosis, I have bone problems, I have teeth problems because of my eating disorder. And so it's like I wouldn't take away my past, but if I could snap my fingers and not have to deal with it for the rest of my life, that would be excellent.
I'm very much so thankful that I went through the things that I went through, because I've seen how it's affected my close friends, my family. It gives me the responsibility to be a voice for the voiceless, especially people in my community who go through these things, who don't know what's going on, have no experience with it at all. And for someone like me to just step out on a limb and just talk about it, I think I was chose to have that role.
My parents were like convinced that I was just defective.
Well guys, I'm sorry, the camera turned off. Well, my phone camera turned off. Full storage, I need to start editing these videos, but long story short, I said that most of the people in with this question, they got emotional, and I understand why. I even myself got emotional, but I'm not trying to cry on camera again, okay? I'm trying to hold it. And it's the truth, like, having babies, you might not be able to have biological children. You gotta think about that. If you're a woman, you might not be able to get pregnant because you need to be off meds. And if they will take me off meds now, I would. I'm sorry, I'd rather die. So there's many things to think about, and it's very sad. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. As I said again, if you have a friend you think you have, a friend tells you they have a mental illness, don't invalidate them, understand them and listen. It's like a regular sickness. You're sick. I don't want to say you're sick, but I am sick. We're all sick, and it's okay. We are not people that are able to do things like the regular ass person, but we are strong and we're here to stay. If you're going through suicidal thoughts, please reach to a friend, a psychiatrist. We all have a chance in this world. There are so many mental illnesses. I try to talk about these topics on my channel. I really appreciate y'all for coming here and listening to me once again. Without further ado, I totally appreciate if y'all subscribe, y'all like it, y'all comment what y'all think about this video. Shady ass Jubilee didn't invite me. Anywho, so just let me know down in the comments. Thank you guys so much. I talk about various topics on my channel. Mental health being one, being Hispanic, maybe I'll do blogs, beauty. We call out discrimination. We talk about various topics in this channel, and I'll totally appreciate if y'all subscribe. Without further ado, it's time to say goodbye, okay? And I need to go. I need an assignment to do, girl, and I'm late, okay? But I really wanted to record this video. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye.